Hello everyone, this is Dr. Vivek Kumar from Mechanical Engineering Department, School of Technology, Pandit Deen Dayal Petroleum University, Gandhinagar. In last video, I have discussed how to benchmark a new product and establish its engineering specification. In this video, I will be covering the concept generation activity in product design and development. This is the brief outline of the content that will be covered in this video. First, we will start with the introduction to the concept generation. Then we will discuss some of the common dysfunctions and the tips related to the concept generation. After that, we will be covering some methods which have been used to generate some concept. Then, in the last, we will apply the concept generation on certain examples. The concept generation process begins with a set of customer needs and target specifications. These activities are already discussed in previous video referring to benchmarking and establishing target specification. In most cases, an effective development team will generate hundreds of concepts, of which 5 to 20 will merit serious consideration during the concept selection activities. Good concept generations leave the team with confidence that almost all the alternatives have been explored in the field of concept generation. Concept generation significantly reduces the chances that product development team encounter a superior concept in any later phase of the product development. Let us study concept generation using an example of power nailer. Let us assume that as a team we need to develop a new handheld nailer for the roofing market. The objective of the team was to consider alternative product concept, assuming only that tool would employ conventional nails as the basic fastening technology. Activities such as identifying customer needs and establishing target product specification is assumed to be already done. Now new concept will be generated by answering following questions such as what are the existing solution for this problem? If any solution is there, could it be successfully adopted for this application? What new concept might satisfy the established needs and the specifications? What functions or the technologies or the methods can be used to facilitate the concept generation process? A product concept is defined as approximate description of the technology, working principles, and form of the product. It is a concise description of how the product will satisfy the customer needs. Initially, a concept is usually expressed as a sketch or as a three-dimensional rough model and is often accompanied by the textual description. The degree to which a product satisfies customers' needs and can be commercially or successfully commercialized depend to a large extent on the quality of the underlying concept. Sometimes a good concept is poorly implemented in the subsequent development phases, but a poor concept can rarely be manipulated to achieve the commercial success. The thumb rule of concept generation is fail often, fail fast, but always ensure that you will fail cheap. This is the general black box model of a concept generation phase. Here the inputs are the customer needs and the target specifications, and the output will be the set of possible concept or space of the possible concept. The main goal of the concept generation phase is that at the end of this activity, the team should be confident that the full spectrum of the options or all the concepts has been explored. Concept development phase is relatively cheap and quick in comparison with other phases. Effective teams will generate hundreds of concepts. The main message includes that the benefit of a structured process and the value of multiple perspectives in this process. Students should realize that although the concept generation is a creative activities, it also requires structured exploration and investigation through many sources. Some of the common dysfunctions that should be avoided during the concept generation are that consideration of only one or two alternatives, often proposed by the most assertive member of the team. Involvement of only one or two people in this process resulted in lack of confidence and commitment by the rest of the team. Another one is that failure to consider carefully the usefulness of the concept employed by other firms in related and unrelated products. Ineffective integration of promising partial solution, failure to consider entire categories of the solution. Structured approach in concept generation reduce the occurrence of these problems by encouraging gathering of information from many information sources. A structured method also provides a step-by-step procedure to these members of the team who may be less experienced in design-intensive activities. This allows them to participate actively in the concept generation process. Concept generation uses a 5-step approach as shown in this flowchart. This approach and process break a complex problem into simpler subproblems. Solution concepts are then identified for the subproblems by external and internal search procedures. Classification trees and concept combination tables are then used to systematically explore all the alternate solution concepts. Then team will integrate all the subproblem solution into a total final solution. And finally, the team will take a step back to reflect on the validity and applicability of the result as well as on the process used in this activity. Now we will discuss each step of the structured approach in a systematic manner. The first stage of the concept generation is clarify the problem. This activity is completed under the 3 sub-activities. The first one is the understanding the problem, then decomposing the problem into simpler sub-problems, and finally focus initial effort on the critical sub-problems. Clarifying the problem consists of developing a general understanding and then breaking the problem down into sub-problems if necessary. The mission statement for the project, the customer need list, and the target specification are the ideal input to the start of concept generation process. Many design challenges are too complex to be solved as a single problem and can be usually divided into several simpler subproblems. For example, the design of a complex product like document copier or the Xerox machine can be thought as a collection of the subproblems such as design of document handler, the design of paper feeder, the design of printing device, and the design of image capturing device. Dividing a problem into simpler subproblems is known as the problem decomposition. This is accomplished by either using subtract and operate procedure or using the functional decomposition. Finally, the most critical subproblems are sorted and initial effort are focused on these subproblems. In nailer gun design, the challenge was to design a better handheld roofing nailer. Some of the assumptions in the team mission statement would be that it will use nails, it will be compatible with the nail magazines available in the market, it will nail through roofing shingles into wood, and it will be handheld. Based on these assumptions, the team then can identify the customer need for a handheld nailer. And these assumptions can be: it inserts nail in rapid succession, it should be light in weight, it has no nailing delays. From the user view, the team gathered supplement information to clarify and quantify such needs, such as the approximate energy and the speed of the nailing. These basic needs were subsequently translated into the target product specification. The target specifications now can be summarized as that the nail length ranges from 25 to 28 mm, nailing force up to 2000 Newton. Peak nailing rate is 1 nail per second, total mass is less than 4 kg for the machine, and the maximum trigger delay of the machine will be 0.25 seconds. Problem decomposition is the second step of the first stage, clarify the problem. Dividing a problem into simpler subproblems is known as the problem decompositions. There are many schemes by which a problem can be decomposed. Functional decomposition is the one that is more often used. The first step in decomposition a problem functionally is to represent a single black box operating model based on material, energy, and the signal flow. The next step in functional decomposition is to divide the single black box into sub-functions to create more specific descriptions of what the element of the product might do in order to implement the overall function of the product. Each sub-functions can generally be further divided into simpler sub-functions. This division process is repeated until the team members agree that each sub-function is simple enough to work with. A good thumb rule is that to create between 3 to 10 sub-functions in this functional decomposition diagram. Focus initial effort on the critical sub-problems is the third stage of clarifying the problem. Once problem decomposition is completed, the team chooses the sub-problems that are most critical to the success of the new product. These sub-problems are most likely to benefit from novel or creative concept generation. This approach involves a consensus decision by the team to defer the solution of some of the sub-problems. For example, the Naylor design team choose to focus more on the sub-problems of storing, accepting energy, converting the energy to translation energy, and applying the translational energy to the nail. The team felt confident that the nail handling and triggering issues should be solved after the energy storage and conversion issues were addressed. This step set the priority on the sub-problems needs to be solved. External search is the second step in concept generation process. External search is aimed at finding existing solution to both the overall problem and the sub-problems defined during problem clarification step. While external search is listed as the second step in the concept generation method, this sequential labeling is deceptive. External search occurs continually throughout the development process. There are at least 5 good ways to gather information from external sources. They are by conducting lead user interviews, expert consultation, benchmarking, patent searches, literature searches. Here the lead users are those users of a product who experience needs months or years before the majority of the project and stand to benefit substantially from a product innovation. Experts may include professionals at firms manufacturing related products, professional consultants, university faculties, and technical representatives of suppliers. Patents are a rich and readily available source of technical information containing detailed drawing and explanation of how many product works. The main disadvantage of patent searches is that concepts found in recent patents are protected, generally for 20 years from the date of the patent application. So there may be a royalty involved in using them. However, patents are also useful to see what concepts are already protected and must be avoided or licensed. Published literature includes journal, conference proceedings, trade magazines, government reports, consumers, market, product information, and new product announcement. Literature searches are therefore very fertile sources of existing solutions. Search internally is the next step in the concept generation process. Internal searches is the use of personals and the team knowledge and creativity to generate solution concept. It is also called the brainstorming. This type of the search is internal in that all of the ideas to emerge from these steps are created from knowledge already in the possession of the design team. This activity may be the most open-ended and creative of any task in product development. 4 guidelines are usually used for improving both individual and group intense research. The first one is that suspended judgment refers that during concept generation session, no criticism of new product is allowed. More ideas a team generates, the more likely the team is to explore the full solution space of the problem. The more infeasible an idea, the more it stretches the boundaries of the solution space and encourages the team to think of the limits of the possibilities. Whether working as a group or as an individual, use should encourage we should encourage the use of the graphic and physical media to present a concept. A concept is better presented and understood by using techniques such as making analogies, wish and wonder, user related stimuli, set quantitative goals, and post the ideas on the wall. The next step in the concept generation is to systematically explore all the solution that has been generated or that has been proposed by the design team. Using external and internal search activities, the design team can collect many concepts or the fragmented solutions of the sub-problems. Systematic exploration is aimed at navigating all these possibilities by organizing and synthesizing these solution fragments. For example, in the Naylor gun project, the critical sub-problem is how to apply energy to the nail so that it can get linear motion and pierce the rooftop. The Naylor design team focused on the energy storage, conversion, and delivery subproblems and has to generate dozens of concept fragments for each problems as shown in this column. Fortunately, there are two specific tools that are used to systematically explore all such possible solutions. These are concept classification tree and concept combination table. Let us first understand what is concept classification tree. The concept classification tree is used to divide all the possible solutions into distinct classes that will facilitate comparison and pruning. An example of tree for the Naylor example is shown here. The branch of this tree corresponds to the different energy sources: chemical, pneumatic, hydraulic, electrical, and nuclear. If by studying the classification tree, the team is able to identify a solution approach that does not appear to have much merit, then this approach can be pruned or cut, and the team can focus its attention on the more promising branch of the tree. Each branch of the tree can be considered as different approach to solve the overall problem. A separate team is used to analyze the solution offered by each branch. Same amount of effort should be applied on each branch to study the solution. Finally, we will be constructing the functional diagram for each branch and refine the functional decomposition of it according to the existing requirements. Now let us discuss how concept combination table is used to systematically explore all the possible solution. The concept combination table provides a way to consider combinations of the sub-solutions systematically. This figure shows an example of combination table that a Naylor team should use to consider the combination of the fragment of the electrical branch of the classification tree. The columns in the table correspond to the sub-problems identified earlier, that are convert electrical energy to translation energy, accumulate the energy, apply translation energy to the nail. The entries in each columns correspond to the solution fragment for each of these sub-problems derived from internal and external search. For example, the sub-problem of converting electrical energy to translational energy is the heading of the first column. The entries in this column are rotary motor with reference to the transmission, linear motor, solenoid and the railgun. Potential solution to the overall problem are found by combining one fragment from each of the column. For the Naylor example, there are 24 possible such solutions, 4 into 2 into 3. Now we will discuss some of the concepts obtained by applying concept classification tree and concept combination table for Naylor gun project. The sketch shown here shows three concepts arising from the combination of the fragment such as rotary motor with transmission, spring and single impact. So three concepts will be derived by using this combination. The motor winds a spring, accumulate the potential energy, then it is delivered to the nail as shown in a single blow as shown here. Motor can be directly coupled to the spring shaft or can be connected via a gear, intermittent motion device such as ratchets or cams. This is another solution concept in which a solenoid compresses the spring and then release it repeatedly in order to drive the nail with multiple impacts. So here solenoid is used and the accumulation of the energy will be done by the spring and we will be getting the multiple impacts. The number of the impact depend upon the frequency of the actuation and deactuation of the solenoid present in the system. This concept is very compact as compared to the concept discussed in the previous slide. This sketch shows solution obtained from the combination of a motor with transmission, a spring and multiple impact. The motor repeatedly wind and release the spring, storing and delivering energy over the several blows. For one revolution of the motor, there will be 3 impacts as per the sketch provided in the intermittent device which will be connected via motor. This figure shows another solution obtained from the combination of a linear motor, a moving mass and this will provide a single impact. A linear motor accelerates a massive hammer, accumulate kinetic energy that will be delivered to the nail in a single blow. Using 3 types of the linear motor. The first one is the phase linear motor, then simply the linear motor or the wrapped linear motor. Provide 3 possible conceptual solutions for this problem. This figure shows conceptual solution obtained using a motor driven double flywheel Naylor gun. This solution is obtained using external surge that is it is available in the patent. The design in this patent uses accumulation of the rotational kinetic energy in the flywheel which is then suddenly converted into translation energy by a friction clutch. The energy is then delivered to the nail with a single impact of a drive pin. The reflection step is the last step in the concept generation. Although the reflection step occurs at the end, reflection should be in fact be performed throughout the whole process. In performing this step, some questions will be asked to check the adequacy and the validity of the process or the concept that has been generated. These questions will be like, is the team developing confidence that the solution space has been fully explored? Are there alternative functions diagram beyond the ones which we have considered? Are there alternative ways to decompose the problem? Have external sources have been thoroughly pursued? Have ideas from everyone been accepted and integrated in the concept? The answer to these questions helps the Naylor design team member to discuss whether they had focused too much attention on one aspect, that will be the energy storage we have considered in this problem, and neglected some other important aspect and overall configuration of the product or the problem solution. So the design team have to justify that energy issues remained at the core of the problem. They can also think if they had pursued too many branches of the classification tree. Initially they had pursued electrical, chemical, pneumatic concept before ultimately settling onto the electric concept because of its simplicity. The chemical approach of providing the solution had some obvious safety and customer perception shortcoming. They have to decide, that is the designer team have to decide that although they like some aspect of the chemical solution, they should be eliminated it from consideration earlier in the process. This allows more time to pursue on some of the more promising branches in a greater detail. So far we have completed the concept generation activity for a nailer gun. Now we use the same approach of concept generation for developing the concept of new vegetable peeler to be launched into the market. This image shows some of the vegetable peeler already available in the market. The first step is to find out the voice of the customer. Let us assume that the voice of the customer activity is already done through interviews, surveys, questionnaires, and by using the Be the Customer approach. Some of the customer experience on available product is listed here for your reference. The customer voice is now translated to customer need by the design team, and that can be read as follows. The peeler peels a variety of produce. The peeler can be equally comfortable to the right and the left-handed persons. Peeler create minimal waste, save time, will be durable, easy to clean, safe to use and store, comfortable to use, stay sharp or can be easily sharpened. Now we will apply the benchmarking technique and establish the target specification. And then finally we will generate the concept to solve the problem using the approach discussed in this lecture. Here is another exercise. Generate a concept for the utility light bulb based on the light emitting diode LED. For this exercise you have to survey the customer to obtain the voice of the customer, then identify customer needs, perform benchmarking, and subsequently establish the target specification. And finally, you will be able to generate the solution concept using the approach discussed in this lecture. So with this I complete this lecture. In the next lecture we will start with how to select or screen some best concept from the space of generated concept. With this I close this session. If you have any queries, please write in the comment section. Thank you for your time.